You see, there's a difference between a broad question and a narrow question. Do you remember what I said about the classroom? A narrow question is going to box someone in. We use it a lot when we're putting people in the box, if you notice. When we've got you in the box and want you to undo a negative prediction. You're in a box. A lot of narrow questions. Okay? It's fine if people will go along with it and get the insight. It's not so fine if they get pissed. See? Well, all you're doing is manipulating me. So, if you had to choose between a broad question and a narrow question in a climate that's a little bit dicey, according to SAVI and the knowledge of what usually happens, you'd choose a broad. If you're in a climate where you've already got evidence that there's information exchange, you can do a narrow.
Well, I join. I'm really happy to hear the cultural issues addressed. I'm still a little...
See, that was reinforcement. Did you see that was really rather nice? I'm now comfortable. He can ask me a narrow question if he wants to now, because I'm in good resonance.
Well, I live in a context with a lot of cultural differences.
Okay, now there is personal information.
And if I were to go by this and sort of what my understanding of what you just said.
Speculation. We're in here.
There's all sorts of the culture that I'm dealing with.
See, there's a conflict now between his personal information and what he's trying to say. I'm rooting for you, David.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just be explicit, and hopefully nobody will be offended. But there's a fact that where I live, that, for example, you'd be having a business negotiation with someone who's Hispanic where I live, and they'll say, "Oh yes, definitely. Call me next week,
right? And I'll have it done."
It.
Yeah.
And what that means is, no, but I really don't want to have a conflict with you, and I want us to leave this meeting feeling good about each other.
Yes.
But I'm not going to do it.
Okay, so that's lovely. So you know what the cultural communication is. So what are you going to do in terms of SAVI? Because you've made a prediction.
Yeah.
Okay. It's either a prediction or it's a negative prediction. But you need to manage reality in such a way that the probability of its outcome is closer to the goal than to your fears. You make a prediction, you've got some sense of the way communication goes. This is very important in a married couple because you've got stereotype interactions. So you can make a prediction of probably which way it's going to go. Now, how do you communicate in such a way that you reduce the probability of an off-goal response?
For 3 weeks.
Okay, so David, so you'd have to tie him down a little bit, and there'd have to be some inducement. So in terms of the work that you're doing together, does he have any interest in doing it and reaching the goal?
I thought he did. Now, in retrospect, I can tell you he didn't.
You're sure? Because you might say something like, it's extremely important to me to get that information in time for me to take my next step. And, you know, I'm being held accountable by so-and-so. So, in a way, if I can't do this next step, I'm going to be in trouble with so-and-so.
Did all of that.
You did all of that, it didn't work. He just said yes, yes, yes.
Yes, well, and ultimately, I mean, just to the end of the story was...
Whoa. David, did you see yourself go hopeless and helpless?
Well, I have given up on this particular case.
So if you came out of that role, how would you see the situation differently? If you came out of the helpless, there's nothing I can do role, and go back to SAVI.
Well, this is where Ben's question came in.
So David, what about saying, I really need to know whether I can rely on you, because if I can't rely on you, I'm going to have to get the information in another way. Do you see what you've done? You've not gone one down to the situation. You've brought in information. You've got him in a conflict. He's either going to be straight with you or else he's going to weasel. And either way, you're going to know which way he's going. You're going to know whether he's weaseling, in which case you might choose to say, I'm going to go a different route. It doesn't sound as if I can rely on you. Or you're just going to let it go, and you're going to take a different route, but you're not going to wait until 7:15 on Tuesday. That's what happens if you come out of role.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, you know, I feel conflicted about pushing it too far, but I can tell you
You're in role.
That
You're in role, David. So you can't use SAVI when you're in role. SAVI is pragmatic. Of course it's got to do with feelings and human interpersonal relationships, but it's also nothing to do with feelings and interpersonal. It is the meta level of collecting information and making predictions and adjusting your behavior according to those predictions. And then if you are using it with people, you do it with resonance and empathy. And if you go into a role, you can't use SAVI, because it needs authentic feeling as you're doing the work. You know, we're back in SCT generally. It's no good trying to influence the communication if you're not in resonance with the communications, with the people. And you can't be in resonance with the people if you're in your person system. Amy.
I have a question, a couple of questions about this situation, about the possible value of checking out a mind read. It sounds like it started with a mind read. I think I'm pretty sure what he was feeling is he didn't want to say, you know, no, I don't want to do it, and also I want to protect this relationship. And so that's one question I had. And
well, so what kind of relationship do you have to have before you can check out a mind read?
some sort of stress.
Yeah. So if you notice in SCT, we undo anxiety, we undo tension, we undo negative predictions. It's only when you've got somewhat of a resonant climate that we do undo mind reads. Otherwise, everybody goes paranoid. So that's really nice. So then, how do you manage SAVI to get the equivalent of undoing a mind read without undoing a mind read? You could take a look at the grid. Because the climate isn't there for undoing a mind read. You've got to have a shared reality testing. Yeah, what would you do?
In yellow, ask questions, get information, so feel that.
If the climate isn't good, what happens if you ask for facts?
You get more noise. Could you first?
I had a sense if this person wanted to.
No, you're in motive. What?
I'm wondering if you could somehow find a way to resonate with the person about the fact that you really want to know that the two of you are.
So which square would you use?
I would go from 7.
Okay, and do you know what category you'd use? Inner feeling.
Yeah.
So you're going to give him your inner feeling. Okay. What would you say?
I might say, right now I'm really worried because I don't know whether or not we're on the same page.
Okay. And so what, as him, what are you going to respond?
Of course we are. Of course we are. Like I said, just give me a call next week.
Okay. What are you going to say? Say it.
What you see is our next step.
Okay. And what's he going to say?
Call me next week.
And what are you going to say?
Well, so I was thinking.
No. What are you? This is what you're saying?
Yeah. So what I would say would be, I want you to know you can say no to this, and we'll be okay. But it's better for me to know either way right now.
What's he going to say?
Probably go back home.
Okay.
Or
Did you see that getting closer?
Yes.
So what is the change in strategy that's happening that's making it sound better?
Joining him, instead of looking with him
And what square?
in seven resonance.